Welcome to Pull the Pin Already War Room Edition. As usual, I'm your host, Jim. Surprisingly, with me again is Mike.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, welcome back. Hopefully you tell us all about the surgery later. Also joining us is Tim.
Hi.
And once again, Ryan.
Hello.
And our very special Novak Chester Kane.
Happy Veterans Day edition, folks.
Cool.
Oh,
Awesome.
Is that what this is?
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, my bad. Oh, that's Oh, my bad.
Yes, this is we put a flag behind especially for that.
Got it. Okay.
So
I wore this flag shirt just
not only
because
have you
of
not
that.
been here, but you haven't read one of the emails. Just one.
Just one of them because just one.
Just read one of the posts, It's just that.
But don't whatever you do, don't watch the videos that you missed.
I watch all of them.
Yeah. Well, you didn't watch.
That's why we have 3 views now.
Yeah.
I was going to say you didn't watch episode 42 on YouTube because apparently it was pulled. It was removed for medical misinformation.
What?
I don't know which one of you two guys created that because it clearly wasn't me. But yeah, ours was pulled.
Okay, let me say, I was the one saying get vaccinated out of this group, okay? So it wasn't me saying the medical misinformation.
I don't think it was about that, though. I think it was about
The thing is
discussing Mike's transformation. So,
Well, I mean, that's not misinformation. They don't know if that's true or not.
Mike reported us. That's what it was.
You going to say something, Tim?
I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and sometimes people talk about this stuff, and it's just that. That's exactly what it was. You got to be very careful whenever you talk about the vaccination. You got to be real cautious. You don't want to talk too much about the jab. Getting the Jabberwocky. You got to be talking code.
Well, the good news is we don't give a damn. YouTube can remove all of our videos if they want. I really don't give a damn. It's not like they're paying my bills or anything anyway. So say what you want about the vaccination. So speaking of saying what you want, Mike, are you warmed up yet?
I'm a little wet, but okay, go ahead.
Hey, a little bit too much.
I can understand why now.
Right. Well, that's what happens.
Those new parts probably endorse that.
Go, Brandon.
Alrighty then. You guys ready? You know the deal. We pull these headlines from media sources and we talk about them. So why don't we jump right in with our favorite subject? January 6th committee issues new round of subpoenas.
Oh, good.
What do you think about that, Tim?
Tim?
Oh, me, I really didn't pay much attention on that day, and I haven't really paid much attention to the whole thing. So I don't really understand what's going on with that. I'm not totally in the loop, honestly. I guess they're investigating why it happened or something. Y'all would have to explain it to me, honestly.
Oh, man. That would make sense to understand why it happened. I think they're more trying to go after the people that did it. They don't care about why it happened. They don't care why the American people were upset. They just care that people did that. That'd be great if they'd investigate why.
Yeah, because they're fucking embarrassed. That's why.
Yeah.
There's no investigations on all the shit that would happen in Oregon and Seattle and wherever else, but I can't get over the mug. So when
You talking about Mike's face or my cup?
No, I'm talking about your coffee mug, bro, on the bottom of it. It's very offensive, and I'm going to have to go to my safe space.
Well, that's why we do this virtual, because that keeps us in a safe space.
Is that Mark? Is that Mike's arms? Where's your
In
safe
Mike's
space?
arms. Now that would be considered sexual harassment.
Oh, sorry. There goes your YouTube.
Once
So
again,
I'll chime in real quick too, because I don't think they need to investigate why it happened, because all they got to do is go to the FBI and ask them why it happened. But
No.
so
exactly.
Mike, I'm sorry, we totally like missed you on that one. Do you want to share your pronouns now or anything?
God.
You got something.
I I say issue a new round. There'll probably be I guess this is called the second round. It'll probably be a third round. I think the main reason why there is so much focus on it is because this was done against them being the American government.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like when uh, people say the average American doesn't care about many things that's going on in America until it hits their backyard. Now, all the riots we've had, all the protests, whatever you want to call them, label them, whatever you want to say to it. This one happened, let's say, in their backyard. So now they're gonna make sure everyone who participated pays for it. You know, whereas if you take another protest or Second Amendment, Black Lives Matter, it doesn't matter. People are saying that, oh, they're not doing the same thing. For me, when I hear people talk like that, I say, unless you're going to carry your feelings, your specific feelings about that across everything in America, you're just like they are. If you get upset when uh, Second Amendment protesters are doing whatever they do, okay, then you should get upset when other people are protesting whatever right they say they believe they have. It's always this division in America that it's just like when I see stuff like this, it's like I don't even want to participate anymore. It's like it's just created to divide us, and when people speak out about it, and I hate to say it, but the right wingers now, I want to say STFU, because when other people were complaining and you didn't side with them or you just justified why they should STFU, in case you didn't know, that's shut the F up,
We do.
right? So now it's like, hey, now it's your turn. Shut up. Let the courts do what they do, you know? And every time somebody says something, whether it's a police shooting or whatever it may be, and you don't see it, and you say things like, "Hey, let's wait for the investigation." Okay, that's all that's happening right now. It's an investigation. Let it play out. It's like
Well,
the words are being turned on them. Now there's an issue with it. So that's why I'm like, okay, your
so
turn.
so with that, man, yeah, okay, I get you. Yeah, a lot of people will be saying, let's wait and see what the courts say about it. You're absolutely right, they do. But there's enough media coverage on why the hell it happened that you pretty much know what's going on. There ain't no media coverage on why the hell the rioters went in there. Just that the rioters went in there, Trump started it, and put them in jail. And there's a witch hunt just to make sure it never happens again. That's all they're trying to do is parade these people in front of the public, saying, "Look, they're going to jail for X many years. They're spending the rest of their life in jail. So you better not come and fight us again. We're in charge. This is our world. This ain't. I mean, that's what it is. This is Pelosi's world. This is everybody up there. Marjorie Greene's world. This is all their world. This is not our world. We don't own any. We don't have any say or any control. And they prove that because if you try to go against them, you're going to jail."
Right. Well, the thing is that to me they're embarrassed as fuck because this happened and they actually infiltrated, and it's an embarrassment. I think we talked about this before, but it's just an embarrassment to the United States government. Period. The fact that people got away with this shit and actually got into the Capitol building. I mean that. We're supposed to be pretty secure. We're supposed to be pretty safe, and them just doesn't look good. But as for what you said, Mike, though, I mean, I agree with you for the most part, but they're putting a lot more emphasis on this than the fact that they burned down jails and stuff in Oregon and stuff.
Okay.
Well, you know what, Mike. Like I said, in all fairness, I understand when you talk about principles, it makes perfect sense, and we've talked about this before.
I agree.
If it's wrong, it's wrong. It's call it wrong. The problem I think with this is they're trying so hard to convince us that it's something it's not. And that's the problem, is they're taking it so far to convince us that, oh my God, our this and that. It wasn't an insurrection. Come on, please stop. It was not an insurrection. They need the insurrection so they can pass the laws like Bush needed the whole, well, he didn't need the 9/11. It happened, I guess, whether you want to conspiratorial that. But, you know, they needed it. So they're making it, they're the only ones talking about it now. Everyone else has already forgotten about it because it wasn't a big deal. So it's just ridiculous.
And it's probably not even fair to compare apples to oranges, because I know what you're saying, mate. So we're comparing apples to oranges because there's a difference between the shit that happened in Oregon, and there's a difference. There's a reason why they did stuff in Oregon. There's a reason why they did stuff in DC. So, I mean, I understand what you're saying.
Mike, you got something. You laughing? You doing anything? Go ahead. Spit it out. Damn it, I hate it when he does this.
Yeah, I know you do. I try not to, man, when you're on the show, I'm telling you, because you've been dealing with it for how many years now?
Yeah, many.
No, and you should know what I'm about to say then.
I got an idea.
Whenever something's going, God, man, this is like, whenever something is happening and you compare it to another, what, let's say, I think is a similar incident. Let's take the January 6th out, and I'm talking about a Black Lives Matter riot with some Black Lives Matter supporters. And I'll say, I think that's wrong what they did, man. But hey, they got arrested. I don't care. Nah, this is different. This is different. You know, it's not the same thing. It's like that's people's favorite fallback. And I'm like, okay, if it's not the same thing to you, we have nothing else to discuss. Because a riot is a riot to me. If you could justify one, trust me, I could justify 10. You know what I mean? So it depends on what side of the fence you're on. There's that division. And I've been saying it for years, man. That's why I'm like, okay.
Well,
this is one thing you don't like. I'm like, okay.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. But he's bringing these headlines up about, once again, about this Washington bullshit. Why is there no headlines about fucking other things?
So no, let's work with it, Mike, because I hear you. I hear you. What you're saying is absolutely right, and we need to call it a riot is a riot. So if a riot's a riot, why are these people from January 6th still in prison and no one from the riots are? So those aren't the same. The treatment is not the same. The investigations are not the same. No, it's not. The details of it are not the same, and they're not being treated the same.
So are you saying no one from any riots that happened last year are in prison?
For rioting?
Yeah.
Or did they kill somebody in a riot?
No. Just
there's people in January 6th in prison for trespassing, and they haven't even been charged with anything else.
Well, but they try to get every single one of the people involved in this thing. Whereas riots that happen everywhere else, if one person committed a crime, that person got charged with a crime. But I think in this thing, it looks like they're trying to capture every single person that was involved in the riot and charge them with something. And that is never done anywhere else.
No,
I mean, if it was,
but why do you think it's happening now, though?
Because it happened to them.
Yeah, they're trying to lock up every single one of them people.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, because it happened to them.
Yeah,
Mike had the right point in the beginning. It's just the same thing as if we're going to call it a riot, let's call it a riot and treat it the same.
Yeah.
And here we'll go to the next headline because this illustrates exactly what you're talking about. Pelosi calls for investigation into GOP congressman who posted anime parody video. Have you guys seen that?
Nope, but I'll have to look it up.
No.
Apparently,
it would be cool if you showed it to us.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to show it to you anyway because it probably get me booted off YouTube permanently. But apparently, it's Attack of the Titans anime where they, big giants and these guys spring around and cut their heads off to kill them. And somebody put pictures on these animated characters, and you know what I mean? Like, this is what I'm talking about. She wants a full-blown investigation for that. But yet all those people that did those things to Trump and all that, there are no investigations. Nobody cared what they said about Trump. It goes back to what you just said, because it's happening to them.
Yeah,
but them is only to certain people.
Oh, first of all, if you talk about parodies against Trump, okay, we got a whole list that we could go through. But can you? Is it this, now, in this case, I would say it's the same. Can you show me a congressman or congresswoman, a congressperson who did it? You know what I'm saying?
Who did what? Posted it? He didn't
Yeah.
create it.
Yeah. See, show me where you had a parody against Trump where a congressman did that. You know what I mean?
Have you ever seen advertisements?
No, I've
Political
seen it.
advertisements?
Yeah, but I never seen something like this. No, I
You'd
never
have to-
did.
you-
I mean,
wait, you can, but you'd have to go back to like the 18 to 1700s to find it. But they were there back then. But yeah.
you saying Trump was there back then? Okay.
No,
all
no,
right.
I'm saying the parodies by political parties were there back then. But no,
Yeah, one of my favorites is Jib Jab. They do they're very clever, intelligent. I like the way they do theirs, but like the one that Jim was talking about, the way he described it, I've never seen one like that before. And it's
Man,
posted
look
by
this up.
a U.S. congressman. If it was a Democrat, would she do it? We all know the answer is no. She'll probably be defending the guy or whatever if somebody did that against Trump or a Republican. So there goes that. Hey, once you do something to our side, we're gonna come after you. But if our side does it, we'll justify it or kind of sweep it under the carpet. And the thing is, American people, we allow it. How do we allow it? Because I support a particular party no matter what. They support a particular party no matter what. We justify the actions of the party we support, right? So therefore, we get nowhere. So the same thing that Pelosi does, the American people are doing that on both sides. So I'm like, and Jim, you know this, what I've been saying for years, man. I just sit back and watch.
Yeah, I'm just
Sit back
saying
and watch.
this is stupid. I think parodies are hilarious. And we know they're parodies. It's not like somebody actually physically threatening somebody and you need an investigation. They're parodies. You telling me you haven't seen a congressional hearing where they bring out those boards and they make fun of people? And I mean, they do it all the time with sarcastic comments and pictures. And they did it. God, what was the last one?
But it's too easy for me. If you say you've seen a congressman or woman or whatever, someone in political office spread this stuff against a Democrat, spread it against a Republican, I'm not going to sit here and say that's never happened. I don't believe it. I'm going to trust your word and say why? Because it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I think
going after somebody doesn't surprise me if it's somebody from the other side.
Was it Ted Cruz?
It surprised me if she goes after a Democrat.
Was it Ted Cruz that did the tauntaun and the making fun of that stuff?
They've all done shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They do this stuff. It's just weird that she's mad over weird.
Maybe they just scraping the bottom of the barrel, man. That's what
it's because they're not good at memes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, she's only 90. She doesn't know how to use a computer quite yet.
Plus, she's drunk all the time. So what the fuck?
What's in that ice cream?
She looks like she had a stroke when you look at her eyes, man.
That's probably why she drinks.
Next one.
All right, we ready to move on?
And we wonder why YouTube is what?
Dr. Oz to jump into Pennsylvania Senate race as Republican.
Well, okay.
All right.
Hey, that's just an easy way to get Democratic votes on a Republican ticket.
Yeah.
Because he knows that they're having trouble with with our wonderful president right now. Nobody wants to be associated with him. I don't think Dr. Oz is really a Republican. He just knows his chances of winning as a Democrat so slim right now. I mean, Biden's polls are just going through the floor.
That's an interesting ploy. If it's true, that's very interesting.
Why wouldn't it be true? Didn't Trump do that? Wasn't Trump a Democrat?
I think. Well, he was a Democrat, but he was an older Democrat. There a lot of their positions have kind of modified a lot. Mm-hmm. And one of his big things, even from his very first speech, was immigration. And even back in the day, Democrats used to kind of agree with Republicans that we need to not have massive, floods of immigrants coming across. So he didn't really change so much. I would say his party changed a lot.
So what you're saying right now is that Mike needs to pay attention because this is a good libertarian strategy?
Well, I mean, the average person who's libertarian, if they go into office, if they want to guarantee a win, they're going to go Republican. Yeah, because they're much more in line with a Republican than a Democrat.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, look at Rand Paul, and the likes of them. You know, they're really libertarians, but they went Republican.
RuPaul?
No, Ron Paul.
RuPaul.
More so Ron Paul, not Rand Paul. He's more like I don't know. He's far right to me, but once he started getting on Trump's bandwagon, I just had to step away from him too.
His dick. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
dick.
All right. You got something, Jim?
I don't even know who that is.
I don't know. Did everybody share about Dr. Oz?
I say he just goes back to the wizard and does his own thing, man.
I just think it's obvious he's not a Republican. I think he's trying to, I think he's trying to get in there to swing that with the Democrat way on a Republican ticket. That's you've seen that a lot lately. I mean, there's a lot of those guys.
They'll help me out here because you guys say it's obvious that he's not a Republican. I only know him from talk shows,
right?
So why is it obvious that he's not a Republican?
I mean, there's been several things out there. He a lot of his views, from what I've seen. Now, keep in mind, it's been a long time since I've seen anything Dr. Oz because I just don't give a shit. But about any doctor's point of view. But I mean, a lot of the shit that I've seen out there in the past, anyways, lean more towards the Democrat side. I mean, really, it's almost like the same way as you're going to get most actors out of California coming in there.
Oh, that's different now. That's different.
No,
wasn't Dr. Oz an Oprah celebrity? Like, didn't he rise up through Oprah?
I believe he did. I think you're right.
So I don't know how those two wouldn't be fighting with each other if.
Maybe they don't talk politics.
Oprah doesn't talk politics.
The reason I think he's suspect is just the fact that he was on TV. They have been very good at weeding out all the true Republicans from these shows. I don't believe any of these people are actually conservative at all. They've weeded them out. We're getting fed constant propaganda from the mainstream media. I don't think he would have been on television if he was a true conservative.
I don't know, but with that, I'm changing my race to Mexican.
Hey, you have anything next, Jim?
Because I want money.
Yeah, speaking of Mexican, Ted Cruz, Texas may secede if things become hopeless.
Oh, here we go again.
You know what, though, man? That's probably the one place that could really succeed and make it just fine. I mean, they have their own economy. They have everything else, as I'm sure Mike knows very well, living out there, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's its own little world. It really is. Always has been, man. I'm all for Texas succeeding, man. I would, if I was, I'd probably move there if they did.
How would that work?
Got a farm out in Texas now.
How would that work? Like, would they have like border patrol around the rest of the border, and like you have to have a visa to get in? Like, how would that work?
Well, there's enough people there with guns. You wouldn't need border patrol. I mean, they got. I mean, not on the U.S. side.
They all slinging guns in Texas, though, right?
Yeah. You can do that legally. Yeah, I guess.
Except Mike. Mike's the only one probably in here who don't have a gun.
Nope.
You don't need a gun. He's got big guns.
Yeah.
With that transformation.
Yeah. Well, as far as Cruz's comment, that's why I just said, here we go again. I remember back when Bush was in office and California was talking about this. I was like, oh, okay. I'd like to see that happen. Because you don't get to keep everything if that happens. I don't think they can be self-sustaining, because then you're not going to get any help. Not that you do right now, really, Texas, but any help down on that southern border. all your military is going to leave. So the most you're going to have is a National Guard, and then you're going to have to form your own military.
Well, hold on.
You know what I
You
mean?
say that like a bad thing. Isn't the National Guard the largest branch of the U.S. military?
Yeah, but you know what you get.
Yeah. Well,
If they ain't no beer, they ain't
you got a
coming.
lot of badass boys with guns. That's what
Hey,
on weekends, though.
you seen Rambo, right?
seen them. Shit.
So that's why when they talk, I don't think a lot of people may know what comes if that would have happened. What exactly is going to come with that?
Well,
So it's like, okay, if you think you can make it on your own, all right.
I mean, it's also not just as easy as signing a piece of paper saying we
Exactly.
succeed for the U.S. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, and chances are you're not going to actually get to do it.
Yeah. Yep.
I think though, if you look at it, probably California would be a joke because I don't know how California stands on its own. But Texas is probably much closer to standing on its own than most other states.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, maybe it's not realistic, Mike, because we hear it all the time, But if they actually do it, I wouldn't be surprised, and I'd like to see how it works.
I really think Texas could. I mean, that's the one place I think could.
I'd be moving right in with Mike.
Nope, because I will not be here.
Well, then I'll swap houses with you.
Yeah, you can have it.
All
I
right.
wouldn't be here. Hell no. Mm-mm.
Wasn't there some quote on Full Metal Jacket about Texas?
Yeah, well, steers and queers.
I don't see no horns. All right, next one. So, Pentagon admits dozens of family members of U.S. troops are still stranded in Afghanistan.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Dozens
Pentagon
of family
admits
members of U.S. troops are still. I didn't bring my kids and wife over there. What do you think
Thank
about
you.
that?
I was waiting for Big Country to answer that one because I'm
That's
like,
the dumbest shit. Where the hell their family staying in Afghanistan? I mean,
they could be dual citizens too. I don't know.
mean, I didn't meet very many Afghan soldiers on the U.S. side either.
They could have been knighted on their way over there. Like, I don't know. When we got there, they could have been like, boom, boom.
Man, the hash is really good. I can see why they stay, but I mean, I'm kidding.
now how would you know?
I heard that.
I don't know. Like, have you guys seen, like, when I was in Saudi Arabia, they had housing for families. I think when we get into these 20-year wars, we start establishing these mega base bunker things and start setting up these little civilization. I think they start letting family come over.
They are not bringing active family to an active combat zone. There was no. I was there in 2010. They weren't there.
No.
Right now, they are not there. They are not bringing family there. We were taking bullets for the last day.
No.
Well, why would the Pentagon admit it then?
I have no clue. Could it be family members? Maybe U.S. troop family members? No.
I mean, I see, like maybe I don't know, even CIA. Or I don't even think they'd bring anything over like that. I mean, I don't know.
Some embassy people, family members, maybe.
Embassy, yeah.
Tim, you were there. What do you gotta say, man?
I think all it is soldiers went home. Then they got married to the women that they met over there.
You got to see them because I always saw the burqa. I didn't see any women over there, man. Like they weren't even. I couldn't even be around a woman. Like they wouldn't even let me talk to one of them. Like, oh, a woman. Oh, you look this way. Okay.
I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't marry me.
There's other places you're not allowed to be around either, though, right?
You can't be near schools either, can you?
Oh, I mean, parks, schools, whatever. I mean, that's all. That's
farms, yeah.
But I mean, seriously, like I couldn't.
Animate objects or inanimate objects.
Did your mom and dad go with you? I don't know. Because I know I couldn't bring nobody. My wife would have flipped out. Jeez.
Well, I guess we just got to ask the Pentagon.
I think they were already there. They just married them when they got back home. You're allowed to get married to Afghanis.
Right. Interesting.
That would be interesting. I really,
but it says dozens. Dozens meaning two at least. 24 people. At least 24 people are stranded there.
Big deal.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you got to figure we probably filtered maybe 500,000 soldiers through there, maybe even 1 million. I don't know. Through the 20 years we were there. I'm surprised the number is so small.
I'm not trying to be smart, but I mean, maybe you know something I don't know, because I be honest with you, it's not like it was Vietnam where they were marrying the girls, the girls there.
Right.
Honestly, when I was there, anyways, I mean, you couldn't even see the women; like they were literally bunkered up the whole time, And
Ryan still has not figured out they've been hiding the women from him.
Yeah, right. Good talks. I'd have probably shot them too.
But we have these 3 goats.
Didn't you already throw this fucking question out here before? This question seems this whole highlight seems redundant, man. I think we discussed this before.
No,
I'm into
last
this
time it
one.
was
That's a new one
last
to me.
time it was the military equipment being stranded.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Never-
I'm talking about the
Yeah.
one episodes that you missed, Mike.
Never in my
And
war
and
room
left the kids in
experience.
Humvees.
Never in my war room experience have I ever heard Pentagon admits anything.
Yeah, that's true
I've
too.
heard it.
Whatever. It's fucking stupid. What who cares? Dozens. Okay. Who cares? It is what it is. We know there's more than just dozens of Americans there still, so whatever.
Okay, so if you have dozens of U.S. troops, families there, and like we said, they got married there, then technically they're home. I mean, right? We didn't leave them to their house. I mean, shit. We left them with their dad, who's probably raping them, but that's beside the point, you know?
Yeah, who cares about them families? But Dr. Oz.
Yeah,
All
right.
right, let's move on.
Thank you.
Facebook won't display search results for Kyle Rittenhouse.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm talking about constant propaganda and censorship.
Yeah.
Is anyone surprised about this? I'm not.
If it was Google, I would be more, but Facebook, who cares?
I mean, you can watch all you want about them on the news tonight, so it's pretty well
Yeah.
covered.
I mean-
but honestly, Facebook is so filtered with their bullshit. I mean, everybody knows that they're literally pushing an agenda.
True.
Well, now that they're part of the metaverse.
Yeah, my son cracked. My 15-year-old cracked up, so that was the dumbest thing. So that you can tell where they're headed with the next generation.
Yeah. Well, I would say this about that is once again, I don't think anyone's surprised. Like you said, they always they're always pushing an agenda, but they are private. They do whatever they want. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, Congress is involved on what they're doing too.
Yeah. Go get them.
Yep.
No, we don't need to investigate this one. We still got some bad trespassers to handle. We ain't got time for this. All right.
Hey, that's
Speaking
gonna
of,
be part of the plea deal.
Yeah, right.
Hey, we need the accounts of these people, or else we're coming after you.
Hey, that's probably why you haven't seen any about that one story on Facebook, right? They probably
Yeah.
did like you for your plea deal. That's crap.
Tim, you got anything, or you want me to move to the next one?
I mean, this is just a pattern that we've seen with all the big tech companies. They're all censoring and they're all allowing a lot of propaganda to filter through that they agree with. So really all these companies need to be broken up, I think. Every last one of them. Facebook, Twitter, this channel right here, Google, all of them should be broken up.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What do you mean by
Starbucks
broken
never
up, though?
Well, there's different
Monopoly
ways you can do it. You can limit the amount of new customers they can bring in, or you could just seize all their property and demolish it all and have everyone fired. That would be nice too.
Sounds
Good
communist.
Lord.
There's all kinds of ways you can break up a company. There's lots of different things you can do. Look at Wells Fargo. They haven't been allowed to get a new customer for 5 years now because they made one mistake. But these guys have made a lot of mistakes. They've become just pretty much propagandists. Especially Google. I think Google's the biggest offender of all of them. But they've definitely got a monopoly going. You can't sue them because of protections they have because they're supposed to be impartial and not do what they're doing. But because they are, they should definitely be broken up.
Unfortunately, they're owned by the 1%, and
That is true.
it won't happen. It's only owned by a certain amount of people, so.
What happened to the days when we used to hear about Bigfoot, make movies about Bigfoot, and people have, I saw Bigfoot, and we were all allowed to just say, yeah, they were full of crap.
There wasn't
Why
internet.
is it now you just can't even hear about it?
You mean like Harry and the Hendersons? Great.
But you get what I'm
You can
saying?
hear
Like,
what they want you to hear. That's it.
are we too stupid to know what would be true and not? I mean, I guess we are. 'Cause,
I mean, look
I
at what
believe
happened with us
everything
a while ago with Jabberwock. I mean, we just got censored. We made a video, spent like an hour doing it, and then we got censored because we talked about the Jabberwocky. I mean, come on. People should be allowed to hear this if they want to hear it and they can make up their own mind.
That's true.
Right.
They are censoring us and trying to keep a certain message. They want a certain narrative to be shown, and that's it. And that's and normally in a free society you can sue these companies and go after them for all this nonsense, but they're protected. I forget what the code is, but they're protected from lawsuits. And that's kind of allowed them, I think, to become as big as they are. And we kind of screwed up with that. We should break them all up now because they've gotten too powerful, and their narrative they're pushing is just kind of all encompassing. I mean, look what happened with Trump in his last days. They booted him off. They cut him off of every single platform at the same time. I mean, it was synchronized.
Yeah. Right.
And that was just blatant censorship right there. So those should all be broken up, I think.
I disagree, but okay.
yeah, I think I think to Mike's point, and I think it is more. It's not an easy decision because then you're interfering with private business and all that. So to Mike's point, like I said, they're a private company, but I think when they
they're not
cross
allowed
the
to sue
line,
them. They've been protected by the government through laws. So yeah, they're private, but they're semi-public, and those laws also apply to them and practically make them a public company. So these laws have allowed them to get too big. They're kind of monopolistic at this point. And they're always going after other companies for being monopolies, but here we are allowing these guys to have total control of pretty much the entire social media.
well, the problem is not that. The problem is what you talked about, where they're protected because they're not allowed to edit things. They're not allowed to say, "Hey, this is good, this is not." They're protected so that they don't get sued
And
because
that's what
they don't
they're
do
doing.
that. Right,
Yeah,
but
but they're
they're
doing that.
violating that.
Yeah.
And they've already been caught. The congressmen have already said that we've gotten, was it Jen Psaki? Oh, we've been giving them a list, or so they've already been caught cooperating with the government. So now they are no longer independent.
Oh, yeah. And they're also just kind of anti-American at this point. Google's over here building search ads for, communist China, but they wouldn't help out the Pentagon to I forget what the Pentagon wanted them to do. But I mean, if you're willing to help a country that has enslaved their entire Muslim population and is putting them in concentration camps, I mean, that's kind of messed up in my opinion. You want to help your own country's military, but you're going to go help someone that's pretty much put all the Uyghurs into concentration camps and is using slave labor. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So, Mike, you want the last word on that?
Oh, I know.
Some of our allies do bad things as well, but they're still our allies. And you're talking about a government being an ally with a company that does bad versus a private company selling their services to another country that is doing bad. I look at that government before I look at a private company.
The monopoly part of it is you're not going to get anybody to go after the big, social media people until you get somebody to go after Microsoft because they are the biggest monopoly of them all. And nobody's going after Microsoft. They run too much. So they're not going to go after these guys either.
And Bill Gates is not crazy.
Do what?
Bill Gates is not crazy.
No, he's not crazy.
Epstein killed himself.
The other side of that is, I don't know when public and private ever seem to matter to the government. I mean, aren't they the ones that right now are making any company over 120 people get their shot? Isn't that their rules? So private and public, that's out the window. That don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
We're slowly and surely moving away from a democracy. So.
Well, what we are moving toward is our next topic. Anti-white hate crimes reach highest level in 2 decades in 2020.
There is a such thing? I thought if you were not white, you couldn't be anti-white, or you couldn't be racist or anything like that. It's just not. It doesn't exist, right? Because we're the majority.
I think that's why
No,
Mike picked this one so he
I
can
mean,
talk about it.
it is. That's that's only answerable.
They know I didn't pick it. They didn't even think I was gonna be on the show. What do you think about that, Chester Kane? No back.
I don't fucking have any idea what the fuck they're even talking about.
Okay, all right. Tim,
what? Does anybody have examples of what's going on? Because I'm living in a bubble here. I don't really know a lot that's going on.
I hadn't heard about this one, honestly. This is new to me. I mean, yeah, this one's new to me. I also didn't think it was possible to have a hate crime against a white person. I thought that was like the commonly agreed, propaganda we've been fed for a while. So
Yep.
this headline is interesting. I mean, yeah, I guess so. I mean, there was a story 2 days ago, one of those big index funds, they made it a law to where if you're going to hire a white male, you have to get permission all the way from the top of the corporation. And I was just thinking, that's kind of racist right there. So it's almost sanctioned to be anti-white. So I don't know how you can have hate crime.
To me, just labeling them is racist, but whatever.
I haven't seen any anti-white hate crimes myself, but maybe it's just because I'm 6'5" and 300 pounds. I don't know.
I think what it is just like we've discussed before. They just call those crimes.
Yeah, right.
They don't call them hate crimes because
that's not a hate crime, Ryan. That's called a stupid crime. That's
a dumbass crime. You come to my house, I promise you, you're gonna wish you didn't make that. You ain't got to worry about the cops. There'll be a nice little plot in the backyard for you. I got you covered.
Yeah,
just like Texas style.
Yeah. I think it's more of a enforcement and media coverage because it's like going back to what everybody touched on with the propaganda. Yeah, it's always been anti-white hate crimes out there, but that's not gonna get people clicking, or back in the day buying a paper or something like that. So that wasn't the sweet story. Oh, you know what I mean? So if you look at hate crime bills, they never mention like a particular race having a crime committed against them. It's just like if you commit a crime based off of race. And, from previous shows, I don't like the title hate crime bill. Crime is crime. Emotions should have nothing to do with it. But hey, like they say, it is what it is. So
it's just a weird title, though, man. I mean, like I've seen the opposite so far in the media. Like everything I've seen is like the race, the white supremacy groups up and are rallying together, trying to come after people. Man, I haven't seen anything about anti-white. That's that's why I think it's odd. I've seen just the opposite. Yeah. I mean, not personally, but I mean in the media, anyways.
Right.
So the highest level of 2 decades meaning 2?
Yeah, right.
2 cases where somebody actually said, "I hate this white guy."
Could be.
All right.
You do see those random people like you see. I've seen on the news like some white lawyer walking down the street and some black guy just comes up and hits him in the face. Right? They don't report it as a anti-white crime.
Well,
maybe that's what I don't know. Maybe, and I don't know if he would have done the same for a black guy. I saw on the news not too long ago some lawyer walking down the street and some guy just came up and popped him in the face. Lawyer was white, guy was black. Wasn't his lawyer. He didn't even know the guy.
Yeah, but he was a lawyer. He deserved it.
I give you that. Yeah. Well, my mom was a lawyer. I don't know if I can agree with that, but
She's just lucky she wasn't walking in that neighborhood.
yeah, he was in front of the courthouse. Oddly enough.
I guarantee that lawyer's son looks nothing like Ryan.
No, does not. No, man. But I mean, that's. I mean, maybe that's something like they're talking about that. But I don't know if that was just a crime of opportunity. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was a race driven or just, hey, here's a guy, I'm gonna beat the hell out of him.
Ultimate thing was just give the wall. He didn't defend his brother right or something like that. I mean, if it's a lawyer, if you're a lawyer, you're gonna have a lot of people that hate you. Honestly,
That's
like I hate
true.
a lot of lawyers, and so I mean, I would have clapped if I was there. So, I mean, I think it's probably there was something more personal than the race involved if the guy was a lawyer.
Oh god.
I mean, the thing is, the guy on the other side that hit him didn't know he was a lawyer. It's not like he had a badge that, hey, I'm a lawyer, you know, big sign.
Right, so
He was just some random guy walking the street that happened to be a lawyer and got his ass kicked.
I mean, if he totally didn't know him, then yeah, maybe there was race involved then.
Well,
But-
I still don't know if that's the case. I mean, it could have been easily just, hey, a crime of opportunity, really.
Yeah. Was he just knock him out? Didn't take any money or anything?
I mean, it was a constant beating until somebody came in and broke it up. He was beating. The guy got up from being hit, and he was chasing him, trying to hit him again. And a bus pulled over. The bus driver got out and helped the guy, but helped the
Was
lawyer.
the bus driver white or black?
He was black.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoever was
Not a hate crime.
No, I mean,
Now, if he jumped in, it would have been like,
yeah, right.
all right, we ready for the last one?
What a fucking pussy. Jesus. You can't beat the shit out of somebody that bad that they get up? God damn, you gotta be a fucking pussy. But beside the point.
He's
What do
like
you think about
105.
Dr. Oz? Actually, speaking of Dr. Oz, a New Zealand city is taking its official wizard off the payroll after 2 decades.
What the? Really? That's awesome.
I think it's fucked up. That's bullshit.
That's
I don't
great.
do it.
Affirmative
Why did they
action.
take him off the payroll. I mean,
Affirmative
obviously-
action. They replaced him with somebody of color.
I want to know how he got that job. I can cast some serious fireballs. So
I mean, it didn't
that's
say
called
he was a
gas.
white wizard, right? That's crazy, dude. I mean, that's awesome.
Hey, Ryan, when you first read it, you said, "Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome." I literally thought you were joking.
No, I think it's cool, man. I think they had a wizard on payroll. That's crazy.
What are we
It's
talking
awesome.
about? I'm sitting here like, what are we talking about?
A New Zealand city is taking its official wizard off the payroll after 2 decades.
What the hell is an official wizard?
I know, man. That's cool. Somebody has an official wizard on the payroll. That's freaking cool. I thought that was cool. as hell.
What the hell's in New Zealand?
Yeah. It's like, wow, okay.
Supposedly one of the happiest places to live.
I mean, yeah, they got wizards.
If you're a
They're
wizard, you
happy.
get a job there. I
cast a
suppose it's
spell.
got to be happy.
Yeah, if you're unhappy, they just cast a spell. You're happy. Well, I literally thought you were joking when you said, "Oh, that's awesome, man." I was like,
No, I think it's cool they had a wizard on payroll. I mean, I don't believe in that, but I think it's just funny as hell.
"Wow."
I mean, kind of brings you back to that Knights of the Round Table day, right?
Oh, wow! I just put I got the connection, y'all. I
Love it.
have the connection. Hey, Tim, see if you agree with this one, man. See if you.
Oh, here we go. Is it white?
No.
The
Well,
Knights of the Round Table. It is.
they had the guy, the official wizard, on the payroll for 2 decades,
yeah,
and Jim said now they saw a spike in anti-white hate crimes over the last 2 decades.
There's no spell to defeat that.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Put
if
him back
he was
on the
white,
payroll, everything is stopped.
if he wasn't, maybe he was a Maori wizard though.
Oh, okay.
You know, they got that. They have their own religion. They might actually have wizards in their religion.
Oh.
The Maori over there in New Zealand.
Yeah, don't they have the spaghetti monster or whatever?
Yeah, the Maori, they might have wizards. I don't know what they have, honestly. I just know they're like a native group and they make up like half of New Zealand's population or something. So
Wow.
Well, I do see why they're one of the happiest places.
Yeah.
All right, why don't we go ahead and put a close on this one? We'll get our own wizard soon, I guess. Or maybe we need to go see the wizard because somebody needs a brain. All right, anyways, Mike, thanks for joining us, Mike. We appreciate you actually showing up this time. Thanks, Tim, Kane, and Ryan also. Thank you all out there for watching, tuning in, and hope you enjoyed it. We hope you get involved, come back, and until next time, Godspeed.
Hey, and pull the pin.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.